Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
17 News at Sunrise begins with breaking news.
I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher, and we begin with breaking news of a shooting on a bus near the base of the Grapevine.
Right now, the Greyhound bus is parked at the Valero gas station at Grapevine Road, and that's where 17's Taylor Schaub is this morning. He joins us live from the crime scene as law enforcement officers continue to investigate what happened earlier this morning. Taylor, what can you tell us?
All right, good morning, Maddie and Alex. I'm at the Jack in the Box across the street from the Valero gas station, where, as you can see behind me, I'm going to step out of the shot and give you guys a live look right now. About a dozen law enforcement vehicles surrounding a Greyhound bus at the Valero gas station. Here's what we know so far. After talking to CHP moments ago, we can confirm that there was a shooter on board the Greyhound bus. We received reports around 1:45 this morning of an incident taking place on that bus. We talked to local law enforcement earlier today. They have not confirmed any injuries on board or if there's a shooter in custody. They've been very tight-lipped about this situation. Again, all we can confirm at this juncture is that there was a shooter aboard a northbound Greyhound bus. The situation is under control at this point, and we'll have continuing updates throughout the rest of the morning, but there was a shooter aboard that Greyhound bus. For now, Taylor Schaub, 17 News.
And Taylor, have we heard where the bus was headed or where it was coming from?
All we know is that it was headed northbound. Other than that, no, we do not know any other information. Again, CHP has remained very tight-lipped. They said that they would be informing us a little later in the morning with some new information. But as of right now, all we know is there's a northbound bus, there's a shooter aboard, and that the situation is under control at this juncture.
All right, Taylor, we will check back in with you in about 30 minutes. And again, if we have any updates on this story, you can download our 17 News app to receive breaking news alerts sent directly to your phone.
All right, in other news, it was a very windy night.
Yes,
I know the mountain communities especially had some very strong gusts.
Yeah, and a few drops on the windshield as well last night. Let's turn things over to Kevin Charette, who's tracking your forecast this morning on this Monday.
Yeah, a lot of wind yesterday. In fact, we issued a high wind warning, and it came true up in the mountains. We had wind gusts at 60 miles per hour out of Tehachapi yesterday evening, and we saw a wind gust out at Meadows Field about 31. So definitely a windy evening. We saw a little bit of cloud cover, and our high yesterday was actually pretty warm, 63 degrees. Normal high is right at 60, so we were about 3 degrees above that. The record on that date, 80, set back in 1928. But overall, it was a nice Super Bowl Sunday. 35 degrees on the temperature right now, so we are definitely on the cool side. We have a calm wind out there right now, and as we take a look at the day, starting out in the 30s and in upper 40s throughout the afternoon. And you can see sunny skies will continue. Take a look at the Tehachapi area, 25 degrees right now, west-northwest wind at 15, so still a little bit of a breeze out there. And we'll start out in the 20s, and then this afternoon, you're going to be cool. Temperatures only expected to be in the 30s with plenty of sunshine. I'll have much more on your forecast in a bit, but first, let's send it over to Alex with a check of your morning commute.
All right, Kev, thanks so much, and let's take you outside for the first time this morning. Here's a look at the intersection of Rosedale at Mohawk, and as you can see, it's looking pretty good on that side of town. Just a reminder that CHP is responding to that shooting on that Greyhound bus near the base of the Grapevine, and because of that, the on and off ramps of Grapevine Road to the 5 are shut down as law enforcement continue to investigate. Other than that, it's all looking pretty good across the county. We'll have another check of your morning commute coming up in about 15 minutes.
3 new cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in California as all 3 major airlines prepare to suspend all flights from China in the next few days. There are now more than 17,000 cases in China. 361 people have died. And this weekend, the first death from the virus outside of China was confirmed in the Philippines. With the 3 new cases in California confirmed just this weekend, that brings the total to 11 in the U.S. Most foreigners who've been in China recently will no longer be allowed to enter the U.S. This weekend, the president told Fox News.
We've offered China help, but we can't have thousands of people coming in who may have this problem, the coronavirus.
Any remaining flights out of China with U.S. citizens will be routed through airports with advanced screening capability, and Americans who have visited Hubei, the epicenter of the virus, will face a mandatory 2-week quarantine as the State Department works to evacuate the roughly 1,000 Americans still trapped in Wuhan.
Jurors will continue deliberating today as the woman who shot and killed a local chef allegedly waits to hear her fate. Michaela Bowers admits to killing longtime boyfriend Ray Ingram. Prosecutors claim she killed him after finding out about his ongoing infidelity. But the defense says she shot Ingram in self-defense after tolerating decades of physical, emotional, and mental abuse. It was last spring that a jury deadlocked in her first trial, resulting in a mistrial. The jury was hung 11-1 in favor of finding her guilty of second-degree murder. If Bowers is found guilty, she could face life in prison. You can download our 17 News app to receive a push notification sent to your phone when a verdict is reached. You can also visit our website, kget.com, for all of our past coverage from the trial.
Delano police are asking for the public's help finding whoever shot 5 people Friday night. It happened as a crowd gathered at County Line Road and Hewitt Avenue to remember the victim of a deadly crash that happened in November. Delano police arrived to find 5 people suffering gunshot wounds. One man, identified as 21-year-old Adam Rene Guillen of Delano, died. Another victim is in critical condition. 3 others have non-life-threatening wounds. Delano police say they currently have no suspect information. But if you saw or know anything, you're asked to call them at 721-3377, or you can call the 24-hour tip line at 721-3369. You can remain anonymous.
A Delano mother calls for help when her son starts suffering a seizure in a public restroom, but instead, police arrest the teen. Lourdes Ponce says it happened Thursday in a Fresno El Pollo Loco. She says her 16-year-old son has autism and had just gone to the doctor after suffering from epileptic seizures. Those seizures returned while he was in the bathroom. She called for help, but when police arrived, she says she was shocked.
He saw that my son was throwing up, and instead of helping him so that he wouldn't choke on his vomit, they had him on the ground in handcuffs.
Bond says she had to show police paperwork proving her son has a history of epilepsy. Once she did, EMS treated him. Pond says police later stopped by the hospital with paperwork stating the teen will not be arrested. In a statement, Fresno Police said, quote, "This case is currently under administrative review. The review will include the examination of all the information pertaining to the officer's contact, including body-worn cameras."
5:07 now. Meantime, also in Fresno, a Super Bowl party turned deadly. Witnesses say neighbors were holding a barbecue yesterday when a homeless man walked up to the party. Police say an argument broke out over someone wearing 49ers gear, and the homeless man shot a man in the stomach. That victim later died.
It wasn't a gun, but it was like a makeshift gun, so we're trying to determine what exactly it was once we find it.
The shooter was discovered in a homeless camp and arrested.
Turning now to that big win for the Kansas City Chiefs last night, one that fans have waited for several years. This is a look at the celebrations in Kansas City. The Chiefs trailed the San Francisco 49ers in the second half, then took the lead late in the fourth quarter to give their fans a burst of energy and delight. Then they tacked on an extra touchdown to seal the deal and win the team's second Super Bowl and sending the faithful into delirium. The Chiefs won Super Bowl 54 by a final score of 31-20.
And local fans had just as much fun taking in all the action. 17 News digital journalist Maricel Maldonado has a look at some of the watch parties across town.
Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs! Come on there! I have faith in my team.
I was so nervous I haven't eaten 2 days.
It's who wants it more at the end of the day, and I know the Niners want it.
We haven't been here in a while, and it feels really good. Like, man, this is, I mean, you can't ask for anything more.
Like a Super Bowl champ, 2 times, not 1, 2 times.
Wait, 50 years for this?
Yes, I'm 46 and I've been waiting 50 years for this.
Go,
Nothing else matters but this right here.
But I knew when we were down by 10, Magic Mahomes was going to show up, and he did.
They'll be back next season. Went to my first game in 2004. Never stopped going since then. Went to every home game this season. Went to both playoff games. Went and saw them play in L.A. Next year, I'll do the same thing.
They tried, and I'm going to take my hats off to them because they played a good game. They played tough. They gave us heads, but you know what? We're the Chiefs, baby. That's it.
I think the team will be better next season. They're going to get key players back healthy. They're going to add some players in the draft. So I'm excited for the future.
We're here. We picked it up. We're champions.
Yeah, we're the champions, baby.
Looks like a lot of fun.
You know, it was a great Super Bowl game. It really was. And I think a lot of people thought that the 49ers had it in the bag until the very pretty much last few minutes. And so congratulations to the Chiefs. And I have to say, it's going to be exciting in 2022 because remember, the Super Bowl will be in Southern California at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So when the new stadium is unveiled, it'll be fun.
Got your tickets?
Absolutely not. I do not have that money.
That price tag. 5:10 now. We're a month away from the March primaries, and there are 5 candidates looking to represent the city of Bakersfield.
Coming up this morning, those candidates are gearing up for tonight's mayoral debate on TV 17. And coming up in about 35 minutes, we'll tell you about the candidates.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
In your 17 Health Watch, a chance to learn more about medicinal marijuana from the woman credited with helping make it legal. Brownie Mary, or Mary Rathbun, will be in town tonight. She was arrested 3 successive times for distributing pot brownies to AIDS patients in San Francisco hospitals in the 70s. She'll be at an event tonight from 6 to 8 at 2039 Niles Road near Mount Vernon Avenue. There will be a patient stories, a scavenger hunt, and raffles and food. The event is open to everyone ages 21 and older.
This week, KGT's teaming up with firefighters dedicated to helping burn victims long after the fires are out. Our annual Hook and Ladder BBQ Fundraiser is Wednesday. We're teaming up with both the Bakersfield and Kern County Fire Departments.
$5 to get you a burger, chips, cookie, and water. And the money raised will go to 2 foundations dedicated to helping burn survivors and their families. It's happening from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Wednesday at Compassion Corner. That's just right outside our station at 2120 L Street. We're really looking forward to it, and the weather should be pretty nice.
Can't wait. All right, business news is coming up after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back in Business Watch. A new hair salon's open in the Rosedale area, and the owner hopes the vibrant new mural will grab people's attention. The mural was painted by local artist and art teacher Beth Cheney. The owner of the Apricot Door, Janae Halsey, hired Beth to give some vibrancy to what was once just a cinder block wall. The mural not only adds beauty to the business, it also adds color and style to an area that needs it.
Well, I'm a little overwhelmed with it, I'm not going to lie. This started out with a small project of a blank wall, and it turned into a beautiful story. And I'm really glad to be able to share it today and just celebrate the completion of it and everything that the wall means to all of us.
Halsey says she hopes to eventually be able to share the space with other creatives. The Apricot Door can be found at 9925 Rosedale Highway. The 2020 presidential race officially gets underway with the Iowa caucus tonight, and Lyft wants to help get you there. The ride-sharing service is expanding its voting access program. It will provide riders with free or discounted rides to the polls through the entire primary calendar and the general election. Lyft has partnered with several nonprofits that will help identify and distribute rides to those most in need. Today's National Football Hangover Day. Now in its second year, National Football Hangover Day was submitted by ESPN host and sports personality Katie Nolan. Katie wanted to give back to sports fans by devoting an entire day for the recovery of the big game day celebrations the night before. It's estimated nearly 14 million people call into work sick today. The Registrar National calendar proclaimed the day after the Super Bowl to be celebrated annually beginning in 2019. The folks I really feel for are those watching on the East Coast. It's tough enough for us over here, Alex. What about them?
Always have to forget, don't forget about the East Coast people. They always have late nights with TV.